Turn the machine on.
Jimmy Klein fires up his hot new invention. His machine emits a flame that feels only slightly warm to the touch. But watch what happens when he touches anything else.
Instantaneously, I can burn a hole right down through the center of that brick.
The flame instantly turns hotter than the surface of the sun. Heat so intense it takes only seconds to literally burn a hole through charcoal. 3 seconds turns a brass ball to glowing liquid metal. Tungsten lights up like a sparkler. Steel, lead, and other metals slices on contact. Yet the tip of the welder stays cool to the touch.
No other gas will do this.
Jimmy Klein uses an alternative fuel source once thought impossible. He says people still have trouble believing him when he reveals his liquid fuel.
Water. Take water and electricity, and we break it down through our very unique electrolysis process.
Klein has just patented his process of converting H2O to HHO, producing a gas that combines the atomic power of hydrogen with the chemical stability of water.
It turns right back to water. You can see the water running off of this.
Klein originally designed his water-burning engine for cutting metal. He thought his invention would replace volatile acetylene in welding factories. Then one day, as he drove to his laboratory in Clearwater, he thought of another way to burn his HHO gas.
On a 100-mile trip, we use about 4 ounces of water.
Klein says his prototype 1994 Ford Escort can travel exclusively on water, though he currently has it rigged to run as a water and gasoline hybrid.
Simply speaking, it can change the world by reducing our dependence on fossil fuels.
These are equivalent to our...
Pete Dominici is helping Klein take his hydrogen technology patents from a 2-room office in Clearwater to consumer markets around the world.
You know what? Microsoft came out of nowhere, came out of the garage. Why not hydrogen technologies?
The duo is already in negotiations with one U.S. automaker and the U.S. government. Their plans have grown from basic welding with water to powering the entire world from the safest and cleanest fuel on Earth. Craig Patrick, Fox News.
Members of Congress recently invited Jimmy Klein to Washington to demonstrate his technology. Now his company is currently developing a Hummer for the U.S. military that can run on both water and gasoline. So far, his water-powered engines have passed all performance safety inspections. So all systems appear to be go right now, and gives new meaning to the term running water.
You just have to hope that water prices don't go up like the gas.
Once we have our materials out of the dredge, they're called concentrates. And we need to have some method of separating the gold from the heavy elements that are in them, the iron ores, etc. And to do that, we have a variety of methods. Now I'm going to show you how I do it. Bear in mind I'm 3,400 miles away from my home in Florida, so I need something that's relatively quick and easy to do. I can't take a lot of the concentrates back with me, so I go ahead and process while I'm on the road. Now behind me is a spiral wheel. The spiral wheel was invented by the Egyptians. That's how they separated their gold, albeit they didn't do it with with electric motors running the wheel, etc. And I'm going to take and screen my material down. Now I've got a screen, and this gets all of our materials to roughly the same size, and that's one of the keys to running a spiral wheel. Now I'm actually using a larger screen than you normally would, but I'm also, after I run my materials through the spiral wheel, I'm going to run it through a gold bowl and separate the little smaller stuff, and you'll see how that's done in just a minute. I'm just going to take and screen our material down. We're trying to get everything to the same specific gravity so it'll go up the wheel easier. And I'm using a little bit larger mesh again so that you can actually see the gold. There won't be any question of what's going up that wheel. Now that we've screened our material, we're ready to run it through the wheel. And I'm simply going to spoon it in. The material that comes off of the wheel and drops in the bucket, I'm going to screen that further, and the material that doesn't make it through the screen, I'll pan that out with a gold pan, teach you how to gold pan. And the material that does drop through, I'm going to run that through a blue bowl, which separates little microfines, and you can see how that works. Let's go ahead and run our material through the spiral wheel. Okay, we're going to turn our water on and turn the motor for our wheel on. And now the gold will be climbing the spiral wheels up into the center and dropping back into a gold pan on the back. Now this is a Gold Genie model. There are several manufacturers that make these wheels. Again, the Egyptians first invented the wheel to separate their gold from the desert sands. Now we're going to go ahead and spoon in some material and watch the gold climb up the wheel. I just put in 3 spoonfuls. And there you see some gold climbing the wheel. More pieces climbing the wheel. Go right on up. More gold. Now this is live as it's happening. This is our material that we dredged the other day. Add another spoonful here. Another one.
Okay, and this is our gold dropping out in the pan in the back of the gold wheel, spiral wheel. And let's take a look at see what we found here. That's still dropping in. This is just the initial gold coming out. You can actually see the gold as it's dropping in. Okay, we're going to take and drop a spoonful in. Notice that the blonde sands immediately began rising up to the center and going down into the center into a bucket below. And your black sand will slowly filter up as well, a little slower. And what remains are the smaller, heavier particles of gold, and we can separate extremely small particles of gold.
I believe this generation of Americans today also has a rendezvous with destiny. Tonight, let us dedicate ourselves to renewing the American compact. I ask you not simply to trust me, but to trust your values, our values, and to hold me responsible for living up to it. I ask you to trust that American spirit, which knows no ethnic, religious, social, political, regional, or economic boundaries. The spirit that burned with zeal in the hearts of millions of immigrants from every corner of the earth who came here in search of freedom. Some say that spirit no longer exists, but I've seen it. I've felt it all across this land, in the big cities, the small towns, and in rural America. It's still there, ready to blaze into life if you and I are willing to do what has to be done. We have to do the practical things, the down-to-earth things such as creating policies that will stimulate our economy, increase productivity, and put America back to work. The time is now to limit federal spending, to insist on a stable monetary reform, and to free ourselves from imported oil. The time is now to resolve that the basis of a firm and principled foreign policy is one that takes the world as it is and seeks to change it by leadership and example, not by harangue, harassment, or wishful thinking. I have thought of something that's not a part of my speech and worried over whether I should do it. Can we doubt that only a divine providence placed this land, this island of freedom, here as a refuge for all those people in the world who yearn to breathe free? Jews and Christians enduring persecution behind the Iron Curtain, the boat people of Southeast Asia, of Cuba, and of Haiti, the victims of drought and famine in Africa, the freedom fighters in Afghanistan, and our own countrymen held in savage captivity. I'll confess that I've been a little afraid to suggest what I'm going to suggest. I'm more afraid not to. Can we begin our crusade? Join together in a moment of silent prayer.